principle that John Wooden talks about is making excuses. And he says this is the death knell of leadership, okay? So you had a cold, you moved over into pneumonia, and now you are into a full, making excuses, trying to pass blame on others. At this point, like I said with the wine, you're not looking for a solution anymore. It's such a dangerous moment in time because you stop asking questions, right? You stop asking. Remember back in whining, you were still saying, why is this happening to me? Right? Why is this happening to me? And at the complaining stage, you're saying, man, why are my circumstances like this? And by the time you get to the making excuses stage and laying blame, you're now not asking any questions. Now you're looking for the fall guy. Now you're looking to point blame. Now you're not trying to solve the problem anymore. All you want to do is not take responsibility for the loss. Okay? And I have a really good story that that it's funny is you'll have experiences and then you'll read a book and you'll start working on your mental fitness and you'll say, wow. And you'll start picking up on things in the past and why they happened and how maybe they turned out good or how they turned out bad. And my brother played pretty high-level hockey. And I remember he was like 14, 15, and so he was really starting to get to the point where scouts are watching you and he's starting to lay the habits of success that will affect the rest of his career, right? So I would go watch his games every once in a while, and he was a goalie. And so he'd come off the ice, and he would say, he'd whine. He'd be like, oh, man, the ref didn't see that call. Man, right? And he'd start whining about the ref, and he'd whine about maybe some of his other players, or he'd whine about his equipment. And right dead in there, if I would have known what I know now, I would have been able to nip it in the bud. Instead, you know what I did? Yeah, that ref's terrible. I jumped right in there. Here, let me help plant some seeds. See, so right there, where Orrin says you lose the qualification of leadership, I stopped being able to lead him, and I started being part of the problem.